Okay, let's jump straight into this deep dive. We've pulled together some source material that offers well, a really fundamental introduction to something.
Programming.
Exactly. Programming. It feels like it's the underlying language of our modern world.
Kind of is, yeah.
You encounter it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not.
Mm-hmm. Powering everything from, like you said, the device you might be listening on right now,
Yeah,
to incredibly complex systems working way behind the scenes.
that's exactly right. So this deep dive, it's all about stripping away any perceived complexity.
Right. Getting to the absolute core of what programming is.
Why this source says it's so pervasive.
And what it actually sets out to achieve, yeah. Think of it like understanding the very first layer.
The first layer of how the digital world works,
Mm-hmm.
my gut reaction, and maybe yours too, listening in, is that programming sounds incredibly technical,
It can seem that way.
maybe even a bit mysterious, lines of symbols that only a select few understand. But our source material, it starts with a surprisingly simple idea.
It does, which is helpful.
So let's just get right to it. When we talk about programming, what is the fundamental concept we're grappling with here?
Well, what's so helpful about this source is it starts with an analogy, something we can all grasp.
Okay.
Imagine trying to explain to someone step by step how to make a single cup of tea.
Right. T.
You wouldn't just say make tea. You'd break it down.
Step by step.
Exactly. Get the kettle. Fill it with water. Put the kettle on the stove or base.
Right, turn it on.
Wait for the water to boil. Find a mug. Put a tea bag in the mug.
Okay, yeah, very specific.
Pour the boiling water from the kettle into the mug, and so on. Every single action is a distinct, precise instruction.
And in a specific order.
Yes, given in a specific order.
Right, you have to be incredibly explicit, no room for interpretation, or assuming the person just knows the next step.
Precisely. And programming is presented as being fundamentally the same process.
Oh, interesting.
But instead of giving those clear, sequential, and highly precise instructions to a person,
You're giving them to a computer.
you're giving them to a computer. It's about telling the computer exactly what task to perform or exactly how to solve a problem by providing it with a series of commands.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, it's less about the computer having some kind of inherent intelligence or common sense.
Right.
And more about our ability to break down a task into tiny, unambiguous steps that the computer can actually follow.
That picture of the computer as, well, dumb is really counterintuitive, isn't it, given everything they can do?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's a crucial point the source highlights. Despite their incredible speed and processing power, computers are essentially machines.
Just machine.
They can only execute instructions. They don't understand context. They don't make assumptions.
They can't figure out what you meant to tell them.
Exactly. You have to tell them exactly what to do and in the right sequence.
So programming is the craft of creating that detailed, foolproof sequence.
That's a good way to put it, that sequence of commands.
And the source mentions that we use something called a programming language to do this. Is that just a specific way of writing these instructions down?
Think of it like different human languages, English, Spanish, Mandarin.
Okay.
They're all ways of communicating ideas, right? But they use different words, different grammatical structures.
Okay.
Programming languages are similar. They are the specific tools, sets of keywords, rules we use to write those instructions.
In a format the computer can understand.
Understand and execute, yeah. The source touches on this, noting that, exploring different languages is a whole other conversation.
Right, for later.
But for understanding the basic concept of programming, the key is this act of breaking down tasks.
Into step-by-step instructions for a machine.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. It's like writing a super detailed recipe for a machine that only understands very specific words and grammar.
That's a great analogy, too.
So, if programming is this fundamental act of giving instructions, where do we actually see this happening? Is it just something hidden away?
Happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, or is it something that truly shapes our daily interaction with technology?
Well, if we zoom out and connect this concept to the world we live in, programming isn't just tucked away behind a curtain.
Yeah.
The source makes a really powerful point here. It's the absolute backbone of the digital world.
The backbone. That sounds indispensable.
It really is. It's the invisible force making things work. The examples the source provides show just how deeply embedded it is.
Okay, like what?
Let's start with something most of us use constantly. Your smartphone.
Yeah, probably listening on one right now.
Maybe. Every single app you use, whether you're sending a message, scrolling through photos, playing a game,
Kicking the rudder.
browsing the web, all of it is a program, or really a collection of programs.
Wow.
And even the operating system itself, like iOS or Android, which manages everything on your phone, that's a colossal piece of programming, just massive.
That makes perfect sense. An app is just telling the phone, when the user taps here, perform this sequence of actions.
Exactly right.
Right.
And it extends everywhere you look online.
Okay.
The websites you visit, news sites, social media platforms, online stores,
Amazon, Facebook, BBC News.
all of them. They are all built using programming languages. When you click a link or submit a form or buy something,
You're interacting with programming.
you are interacting with the results of programming, telling the website what to do.
Video games must be an incredible example of programming in action,
Oh, for sure.
creating entire virtual worlds, responding to player input in real time.
Absolutely. The source highlights video games as these complex realities built entirely with code.
Okay.
But the reach of programming goes far beyond computers and phones in the traditional sense.
Right, not just screens.
Think about smart traffic lights coordinating traffic flow in a city.
Oh yeah, I never think about that.
That's programming at work. The GPS navigation system guiding you in your car,
Telling me where to turn.
constantly calculating routes, giving directions. That's programmed algorithms running behind the scenes.
Wow, okay. That's complex stuff hidden in plain sight.
And it gets even less obvious.
Where?
Think about advanced medical devices used in hospitals.
Right, critical stuff.
Robots automating tasks in factories, sophisticated financial systems managing transactions,
Even simpler things.
even the seemingly simple program running inside your microwave.
A microwave. Seriously.
Yeah, controlling its timer and power levels. The source emphasizes that programming is this invisible force.
Yeah.
It makes all this technology work efficiently, reliably. It's involved in, and this is a quote, almost every detail of modern lives.
Even if you never see the code itself.
Exactly. Even if you never see a single line.
That really drives home how fundamental it is. It's not just for tech giants or coders.
No.
It's integrated into the fabric of our daily routines. So, okay, we've established what programming is giving precise instructions to machines,
The recipe.
and where we see it basically everywhere.
Pretty much.
This leads to the next big question. Why would someone learn programming? What are its main goals or purposes, according to the source?
Good question. The source outlines 3 primary benefits or goals.
Okay, what's the first?
The first one is incredibly valuable even outside of technology itself. It's problem solving.
Problem solving. How so?
Programming teaches you a very specific, systematic way of thinking. You learn to look at a large, potentially daunting problem
Yeah.
and break it down. Break it down into smaller, more manageable, logical steps.
Okay.
Then you figure out how to solve each tiny step and, crucially, how those solutions connect together to solve the overall problem.
So it's like building a muscle for logical thinking, for breaking down complexity.
Exactly. That analytical, step-by-step approach to tackling challenges, it's a skill that transfers to almost any field or situation.
Yeah.
It forces you to think clearly, anticipate potential issues, structure your solution methodically. It's a powerful way to sort of train your mind.
That's a compelling reason right there that it actually changes how you think.
It really can.
What's the second goal mentioned?
The second major goal is automation.
Automation. Okay.
Computers excel at performing repetitive tasks very quickly, very accurately.
And without getting bored.
Right. Or making those little human errors that creep in. Programming is what allows us to tell computers how to perform these tasks automatically.
So we can delegate the tedious, repetitive stuff to the machine, free ourselves up.
Precisely. This frees up human time and energy for more creative work or strategic thinking or complex tasks that computers, well, can't yet do.
Right.
Automation, powered by programming, is a huge driver of efficiency. It allows individuals, organizations to achieve more with less effort spent on routine stuff.
Like sorting thousands of emails, maybe, or running reports.
Exactly. Processing vast amounts of data, running daily reports, tasks that would take a person ages can be automated with programming.
That's where you really see the power of leverage, using the tool effectively. And the third goal.
The third is innovation and creativity. The source describes programming as providing the ability to turn abstract ideas into tangible reality.
making things real.
Yeah. If you have a concept for a new kind of app that solves a particular problem,
Or a website.
a unique website to connect people, a tool to analyze data differently, or, like we mentioned, a new game world to explore.
Programming is the tool.
Programming is the tool you use to build that line by line and bring your vision to life.
It sounds like having a direct pipeline from your imagination into the digital world. That's pretty cool.
It truly opens up possibilities. The source uses the phrase that it opens limitless horizons for creativity and innovation.
Limitless horizons. I like that.
It's the medium through which countless new tools, services, entertainment, new ways of interacting with the world are created every single day.
So it moves beyond just being a technical skill
Way beyond.
and becomes a tool for expression, for invention.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. That perspective is incredibly powerful. It's not just about writing lines of code.
No.
It's about problem solving, freeing ourselves from
Yeah.
drudgery, and having the means to build the future, digitally speaking.
You've captured the core message from the source perfectly there.
Okay.
It's the instructions, it's the invisible force everywhere, and it's this powerful tool for thinking, for efficiency, and for creation.
All right, so to recap this deep dive, wrapping up our look at this source material, we've explored the fundamental idea. Programming is about giving incredibly clear, step-by-step instruction
The recipe.
to a machine that needs everything spelled out. No guessing.
Right.
We've seen how this invisible force is the backbone of our modern digital world, powering everything from our phones and websites to traffic systems, even kitchen appliances.
Everywhere.
And we've understood the three major goals or benefits highlighted in the source: building our problem-solving skills,
Thinking systematically.
enabling powerful automation,
Getting the repetitive stuff done.
providing a canvas for, well, limitless innovation and creativity.
Bringing ideas to life.
And understanding these basics, as the source suggests, really does open new doors for you listening.
Absolutely. Whether you have aspirations to build something digital yourself, maybe become a programmer.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Maybe you just want to understand the foundational mechanics of the technology that shapes your life. Grasping these points is key.
It definitely changes how you look at the technology around you, seeing the layers of instruction underneath all the clicks and swipes.
does.
And the source gives us a fascinating hint about what lies just beneath this basic understanding. A little teaser for next time, maybe?
Oh, yes.
It mentions that algorithms are the cornerstone of any program
The cornerstone. That's the word they use.
and suggests this as a topic for future exploration.
That's the critical next step, logically.
So let's leave you with this thought to ponder. If programming is the act of writing the precise instructions, the recipe, then what is the strategy behind those instructions? What is that underlying plan, that logical sequence of steps you devise before you even start telling the computer what to do?
The planning stage.
What exactly are algorithms, and how do they serve as the blueprint that guides the programming process itself?
How do you plan before you code?
Yeah, that seems like the crucial thinking layer that precedes the coding, a fundamental concept to carry with you and think about until our next deep dive.